Hello, this is SJ Talks to Life coming back at you with another video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Hoping that you are having a blessed day. Hoping all is well and you guys are having great health. And I wish you many, many abundant blessings. Umar Johnson did a video the other day. Just the other day he did this video. His channel is King Kong of Consciousness. King Kong of Consciousness. He did a video talking about black women being in interracial relationships. Black women getting into interracial relationships. Now, if you know Umar Johnson and his beliefs, and you're familiar with his beliefs, you know that he is 100% against black men and women dating outside the race and marrying outside the race. He believes in black people being together exclusively because, you know, he's a Pan-Africanist. He's a Pan-Africanist. I can't say that right. And he believes in, you know, black women and black men sticking together 100%, strong black families. And I definitely believe in having strong black families. How our community would be much stronger and be much more prosperous if we did have more stronger black families in the community. So I'll agree with that 100%. You know, I can get on board with that 100%, having strong black families. But he was talking about how black women should not, you know, because I guess he's aware of this divestment revolution. We're in a kind of a divestment revolution for black women. Black women are starting to realize they need to expand their options more, open up their options more, and you know, consider dating and marrying other races of men, instead of just pining away waiting on if you know, a lot of times, you know, some women, contrary to what a lot of people believe, there are actually a lot of black women that don't have children, and they would prefer to wait for a marriage mate to have children. So instead of, and we all know that there's a window of time where a woman can healthily have a child, to have a child, a healthy pregnancy without any complications. We know that there's a short window of time there, and so if a woman wants to start a family, but she wants to start it in the context of marriage, instead of, you know, waiting around for a marriageable black man, you know, she might consider, you know, expanding her options to other races of men, and, you know, so she can, you know, get married and have the family. And more black women are starting to realize that there's a small pool of marriageable black men. Notice I said marriageable black men in the black community, because of various reasons. Because we outnumber black men anyway. So there's a certain percentage of black women, realistically, there's a certain percentage of black women that will never marry because, you know, there's a small percentage of marriageable black men in the black community. So that's just the reality of it. So black women are starting to realize that, hey, if we start expanding our options to other races of men, not just white men, but other races of men, then, you know, maybe we'll increase that chance of getting married, because black women only have like a 30% marital rate. You know, and did you know in the 1950s that black women had a 50% marital rate? It went from a whopping 50% to 30 or maybe less than 30% now. That's terrible. And a lot of it, I think, is because, yeah, that how black men always saying, oh, black women, or they always act like we're not loyal and all this kind of stuff, and we ain't down for them. But black women are actually loyal to a fault, and there's a lot of black women that they stick to their gun. Well, I want a black man, but realistically, it's going to be a large percentage of black women that won't marry because they just, won't be able to get a marriageable black men because, there's a certain percentage of black men, black men date and marry out, I think at a higher rate of other races, of white men, I think. So, you have a certain percentage of black men that date and marry outside the race. You have a certain percentage of black men, a large percentage of black men that are incarcerated. You have a percentage of black men that are gay, a large percentage of black men that are gay and on the down low. Haven't got the decent stats for that. I haven't really got any. It's hard to take numbers on that. Hard to compile stats on that. But yeah, it's a large percentage of them are gay and on the down low. Large, and there's a percentage of black men that they're just not marriageable. They're just not marriageable for various different reasons. They're not marriageable. And so that leaves us, because we outnumber black men, that leaves us with a small pool of marriageable black men available to black women. And so and I do believe that has a lot to do with why our marital rates are so low. Now, you let the black manosphere tell it it's our fault. It's our fault that we're not marrying because we got attitudes and this and that, and because they say it's because we're not marriageable. That's why, the reason why we're not getting married. No, that's not true. Because there is a large percentage of black women, a decent percentage of black women that do not have children, that are not married. I have some in my family, okay? And then I know some black women outside of my family that are not married, okay? And don't have any children, okay? So, and plus the birth rates have decreased for black women. Birth rates have decreased all over, but they've really decreased for black women. So, a lot of times, men, they have so much hatred towards black women and bitterness. They want to spew out facts. They try to spew out things based on ignorance or based on what they want to believe, but it's not true. So I mean, there's a lot of good marriageable black women out there. It's just that they're having a hard time landing a marriageable black man. Okay, that's a huge myth. So as a result, black women are starting to put two and two together and starting to say, hey, we need to start expanding our options and start considering, because other races of men, white men and other races of men, are finding black women desirable. And black women are starting to realize that, hey, we need to start expanding our options if we want to go on and get married, So black women are waking up. More and more black women are opening up their mind and starting to consider dating and marrying other races of men. And Brother Umar Johnson, he knows that. He noticed the uptick in black women making this decision. So I think that's why he did this video. And he was saying that polygamy, because his solution, his answer to the marriageable black male shortage in the community is for black women to get into a polygamous situation. Check out my video I did on that dude, the ugly white dude with the four wives, sister wives. Yeah, that I might put the video, the link to that video in the description box. where I talk about how, because they breaking up, they breaking up. So then women are going their separate ways. And I'll talk about how, polygamy is not healthy. It's not a healthy situation for women. It's not a healthy situation for the children. And I give reasons as to why it's not. So check out that video if you haven't had a chance to check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description box to that video. But polygamy is not a good situation for any woman to be in, of any race. And he's because he talks about how he wants 2 and 3 wives. And of course, like I said, I agree with a lot with brother. I admire his, like I've said in other videos, I admire his passion for the Black community. And I agree with 90% of what he says. I enjoy listening to his speeches and everything, because the man is very knowledgeable and everything. I love his passion that he has for the Black community. But that's the one thing I do not agree with him on, and I can't get on board with, is this polygamous, multiple wife thing. That is not a good situation for Black women, because women, like I said, women are too competitive. Women are competitive by nature. Women are petty, catty. Polygamy just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It is not a good situation for women to be in. It's not a good situation for the children. He let him tell it is, because there's a father. Half the time these men can't even handle one woman. How they gonna handle 2, 3, and 4 wives or whatever. Half the time they can't even deal with one. So, and he's saying, well, at least there will be a father present in the home for the children and all this type of stuff. With that sister wife situation, that man was going from house to house. They was living in a compound in Utah. I couldn't figure out the name of the city in that video. In Utah, they was living in this compound, and they were all in different houses, and he would go from house to house, and he got, I don't know how many kids by all these different women. It's a mess. It's a mess. And so that's just not a good situation. It's not a good situation. I don't care what he says. And how many Black women are going to be willing to sign up for something like that? And that's what he suggested. He suggested for stronger Black families, for it to be a polygamous women, but more Black women should be on board with the polygamous type situation with sharing their man. And I'm telling you, ain't too many Black women gonna be down with sharing their man. I sure wouldn't want to share my man with nobody. And you know what I mean? Not knowingly. Not if I've shared I have shared my man with somebody, but it was unwillingly and unknowingly. And when I found out, I wasn't too happy about it. So would I want to willingly and knowingly share my man with another woman? Absolutely not. So most Black women, it's only probably a very small percentage of Black women that would be on board with that. And so that's just, to suggest, and he's saying, because he's totally against interracial. He's totally against Black women going outside the race, period. And so that's his solution to the marriageable. He knows that there's a shortage of marriageable Black men in the community. So instead of him telling Black men what he need to be doing, is giving Black men, encouraging Black men to be better, encouraging Black men to be better fathers, to be better husbands, to set themselves up to where they will put themselves in a marriage type situation with Black women, to set themselves up better financially, to get more morals and get more character, more spirituality. And this is what he need to be doing. He need to be coaching the men on how to be better men and how to become marriageable men. So, and encourage those brothers to stay in the community and become more marriageable. So more Black women would have more access to marriageable Black men. That's what he need to be doing. Instead of telling Black women that they need to sign up for this polygamy crap, because ain't too many sisters gonna be on board with that. And so he said he recommends that Black women do that instead of date and marry outside the race. because he's completely against that. I disagree. I disagree. I think that black women should do what each individual black women should do what they feel is best for them. If a black woman feels like it's best to expand her options, she wants to wait till she gets a husband to have children, then she decides that she wants to expand her options through dating and marrying other races of men. Each individual black woman should do what she feels is best for her individual situation, not what's best for the community, but what's best for her individual situation with her situation, you know. And some black women prefer to hang in there and wait on a marriageable black man. Some black women say, well, I just won't get married at all if I can't find a marriageable black men, whatever a situation. And that's fine too, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with being single. It's okay to be single. But whatever situation that particular black woman feel is best for her in her situation, if she feels it's better to expand her options, that would be in her best interest to find a suitable to get a suitable marriage mate. Then that's a decision that she comes to, that she feels is best for herself in her individual situation. Okay. But he's talking about from a community standpoint of what he feels is best for the whole black community. But I'm an advocate of black women being happy. I'm an advocate for black women being happy and being in the best possible situation. If you're gonna become a mother under the best possible situation that you can, being financially stable and having a stable and loving marriage mate. Okay, notice I said stable and loving marriage mate. So I'm an advocate of black women being wives and mothers under the best circumstances that they possibly can, and each individual black woman doing what she feels is best for her and her situation, not be thinking about the community as a whole. And so, in other words, I'm an advocate for. I'm cool with black women expanding their options. I think black women should expand their options. So I get what Brother Umar is saying. I definitely believe in strong black families, but if a black woman wants to expand her options, then she should be able to do so if she feels like that's the best thing for her to do, and it's in her best interest. Ooh, excuse me. But and what he should, like I said, what he needs to be doing, and he needs to be talking to the brothers about becoming more marriageable. Getting up to the level of becoming a good husband and good father. This is what he needs to be doing. He needs to focus his ministry on coaching the men on how to be better husbands and better fathers, and give reasons as to why he should marry a black woman. Give some good, viable reasons why he should marry a black woman and become the best husband and father that he can possibly be. Okay, this is what he need to be doing. Okay, coaching the men. Okay, instead of telling women to get in a polygamous type situation. That's just not going to work. That God is not, that's not biblical. It's not, no, God is not down for that. And I do not think that is the best possible situation for black women and children. Because a man, even if he's talking about, well, there'll still be a father in the home. No, that the children are still not going to have a stable father, even if because the father's there doesn't mean he's there. If you have 2 or 3 wives and you have I don't know how many kids by these wives, how effective of a father will you even be to those children, even though you're in the home, or whatever the situation is. Y'all might not all be living in the same house. You know, this guy on Sister Wives, they wasn't even all living in the same house. They was living in like a compound, a cul-de-sac type situation, and he was going from house to house. So how effective of a father was this man really was to all these kids? So come on, he just created a big old baby mama situation is what he did. They just don't call it that in the black community. They don't call white men baby daddies in the white community. They don't call white women baby mamas in the black community. They only stick those stigmatizing labels on black people. But that's what it is. He wasn't nothing but a baby mama or a baby daddy, and they were some baby mamas. That's, you know, because legally that's not illegal in the United States. He's only legally married to one of the women. But they don't call it that in the white community, you know. A black man does that. He doesn't get a show and get it glorified and all that. But when a white man does it, see, it's glorified. But it's the same situation. It's a baby daddy type situation. So it's just messy, and it's not a good situation for women. And it doesn't do anything for women's self-esteem. A polygamous situation would not do anything for a woman's ego, or because us women have an ego too, and it doesn't do anything for our self-worth, and it doesn't do anything for our self-esteem. Okay, but plain and simple. So that's not a good situation for a black woman to be in, or black children to be in. Okay, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Brother Umar Johnson's views on polygamy. He's saying black women need to be in a polygamous situation instead of dating outside the race. I disagree. Black women need to make the best possible decision that she can make for her situation. Okay, plain and simple. The goal is for black women just to get to happy. That's the goal. And for her and her children to be in the best possible stable situation that she can be in. And if that means dating and marrying someone outside the race, then so be it. Okay, so hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And hit that like, subscribe, and share. I got a new video on rumble.com. I'm under Sweet June on rumble.com. I have a new video over there. Go ahead and check me out over there. Because I did a little short, but if you didn't catch that short, rumble.com, I'm under Sweet June. I'm giving some good information. The stuff that I can't talk about here on YouTube. So I'm under Sweet June on rumble.com. Go over there and check me out. It's a brand new video over there. Okay, hit that subscribe and like. And until the next time, you guys be blessed.